Hello, everybody. How are you guys? Today, you're in for such a treat. We have with us GaminGargoyle from
Hello.
YouTube. Give the folks a 40,000 foot overview of you.
Let's see. Let's see if we can do the Richard Feynman way. Opinionated, old, loves gaming, addicted, idiot.
Idiot.
I
I've
love
never
my
heard
video
that
game.
one.
Yep,
I think that's why we're here, right? We love video games.
exactly. Yep. How's
I,
everybody in the chat? This is awesome. Thank you so much for being here so early. That is amazing.
oh,
Thank you.
yeah. Yes, yes. This group loves this podcast. I will admit to that. This group really loves this podcast. Hello, everybody. So, for people that do not know, you record a lot of YouTube videos and sometimes pre-release games.
Yeah.
So, what is it like doing those?
Very frustrating. I come from the background of CDs and cartridges. I worked with a large AAA studio back in the was it mid '90s to almost mid 2000s. And if it wasn't ready, I mean, the thousands upon thousands of dollars invested into having it go out to CD, to cartridges, those type of things. So the games had to be really good. I first started off in the beta testing side of things.
Yep.
Worked there for under contract for the first 6 months. Got bumped up to lead tester after that first contract. Was there for it was almost just under another year. Then they bumped me up to peripheral testing. Became the lead of that department within like another 6 months after that, and then I just moved my way all the way up to assistant project manager. And
Oh,
so
wow.
I got to see and hear from all these different departments over a period of time about how, oh man, you should have seen when we did this. Oh, this happened. Or, oh, we hit this wall here because of this, but we were able to get around it with that.
Hmm.
And I come in now. I left the industry. I left the AAA company because I couldn't go any higher up without taking over my boss's job. And well, that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. So I ended up leaving there to join with two programmers that we had in house who that were fixing some of the games where some of the other developers were having some issues.
Yeah.
And I left with them, and they brought in another two individuals and myself. And unfortunately, money was mismanaged pretty heavy. I mean, I wasn't the one who got to drive around the new BMW and Mustang or have the new house or anything, right? So,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so money got mismanaged, and so that shut down. And I was like, you know what? I want to make some real money. So I went and started working on the oil field. Well, I went back to school to get the education to work in the oil field.
Yeah.
Ended up having a heart attack. So the doctors are like, yes, okay, with your muscle disabilities and everything, yeah, you can't even do light duty stuff too much anymore. Just you need to, just go home, relax. You can't be living with the life of a resting heartbeat of 160. Like, okay, fine.
Wow.
So, doing everything I can, as we mentioned earlier, doing everything that the doctors tell you
Yeah.
to, take your pills, watch your diet, cut out everything, become, the next Amish person for, pretty much anything. And
Well,
it was
well,
driving me
you
absolutely crazy.
my doctor a while back said you need to cut out red meat, and trust me on this. As Crimson, there, how much red meat we've actually cut down. We've actually went from almost every day having some red meat to like 2, 3 times a week.
Wow.
But still, it I like chicken just as much. They didn't say cut out chicken, so I mean,
I make my own chicken nuggets at home, but that's about as far as I go with fowl. Yeah, fowl is fowl. I'm not a big fan of chicken. Yeah.
um.
Oh, and sorry, chicken Caesar sandwiches. Or pitas. I love chicken Caesar pitas.
Oh. Anyways, can I ask you what AAA game, or do you not wanna drop their name?
Yeah, my contract or my D or my
Okay, okay,
NDA is
that's
for
fine.
25 years, but actually it goes up next year. And I know still one of the guys that still works there, and like he says, I'm not even on their radar anymore. There's not a single person left there that even knows me. But yeah, I worked for Electronic Arts.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, when I left, they
Um
were working on Need for Speed Carbon and I think it was SSX3. I think it was at the time.
back
Um,
so 25 years ago, back when they did not like completely destroy video games.
there was no web patching back then. There's
um
absolutely no web patching. It had to be right the first
it,
time when it went out the door.
people do not know this about me. Back when I was 18, I did the independent beta testing where you like apply to these companies and was
Hmm.
like, "Hey, I would like to beta test your game. Can I get a bit, that type of stuff?"
Hmm.
Uh, I I actually got from two companies games, and the only one that I did very decently beta testing wise was from Sierra. Uh, Back when Power Chess came out, the
Okay, so that
original
was a
Power
few years
Chess.
after Gold Rush. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Is like Power Chess was about to come out, so they were like, "Well, we're going to send pre-golds to some beta testers, just get it into the hands of people, see how they can destroy it,
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
if anything goes wrong." Well, I caused the Power Chess several times to crash multiple different ways,
Hmm.
repeatable every time. I sent that report to them. They pushed the gold back like 3 months to fix all the bugs that I found.
Hmm.
And I was the only one that found those bugs. And they were like, "Why were you just randomly smashing your keyboard?"
Because
That
that's just the way some people are going to do things. Yeah, like
it
in the testing department, there was you had to have two trains of thought. How is the way the game is meant to be played, meaning that's
right,
how they tried to set it up, and then there's the way that it's going to be played.
right,
And the
right.
way that's
Well,
going to be
my
played is anything that you can't think of is exactly what they're going to do.
my thought is for some odd reason you're playing power chess for like several hours and just immediately, you're playing it and you're waiting for the power chess uh AI to move, and you just fall and hit your head on your keyboard. Or say a kid comes along and just slams their hand on your keyboard while you're playing it. Type viewpoint.
Gotcha.
That was my logic, and that was what I put with it, and they were like, "We never thought of that."
I don't know how many times I've seen kids doing that.
Right,
They're
right,
just beating on the keyboard and stuff. Like, yeah, I see that all the time. Yeah.
right,
Oh, yeah. It's just that's 5-year-old and under mentality.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you played the Power Chess the way it's meant to be played, it played flawlessly.
Mm.
There was no errors with it.
Yeah. Well, that was that's on the developer and the in-house beta testing team. They get tunnel vision. And so they know their game so well inside and out that they subconsciously just play it the way that they want it to be played. They aren't
Right, right.
thinking about what, the other things that are out there. That's one of the things that I loved about the Assassin's Creed team was that the way that they would do it is they would send out only certain things. Like, I mean, I
Mhm.
was testing boundaries. I was jumping. I was Oblivion jumping up walls for like 6 months on one of their games. Like that was my job, as the tester for that. They were like, "Yeah, this is what we need. We need boundary zone testing. We need to see if there's any collision, if there's any tear throughs, the usuals."
Right.
So I was like, "All right." I went through, and yeah, 6 months, 6 months of just yeeting up and down these mountains, all around the border of the map. Can't see anything inside the map because that wasn't part of the programming that I was given. My job was to test to make sure that the boundary limits were there. So that's what they gave me.
Right.
So it was kind of nice that way because when the game came out, It was like, oh yeah, I remember this hill and feature and yada yada yada. It's like, oh, so that's how the castle gets built into it. Ah, okay. I was wondering why that one wall was so perfectly straight up for 300 feet. That makes sense. It's
Right,
all hidden behind this
exactly.
giant castle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's people do not realize how beta testers get the the low end of the scale. You know, it's like a lot of people think, "Oh, you're a beta tester, you get to test games before everybody else." Yeah, but beta testers get to test games in the worst states possible.
Exactly. We're not getting to test the game as these people see it. They get to see the finished product. And so in their brains, it's like, you got to play that 6 months early. It's like, yeah, no, 6 months ago, you see that tree that was over there? That was in the middle of the road, and then it followed you for 3 miles as you're running through the map,
Right.
because it would pick up, and it's like you turn around, it's like, why is
What?
what? And then it
Are
all
there
turns out because
goblins in
3
that
months,
tree?
yeah, it's just, it's like the Fable was absolutely awful for that. It was just brutal. You would just pick up certain random items, all of a sudden you'd have a fence post following you. It's like, why is things following me? Try to reproduce it, and you find out that it was like, yeah, like you say, like 3 miles back, it came off this one section because I happened to have the fishing rod in hand or something, and it just like, oh, yoink, you got to come with me, and it just like follow you behind. No
Right.
collision to it, just all graphical, just hanging
Uh
out behind you.
yeah, it's like people should realize that beta testers are why the game is as good as it is when it
Mhm.
gets to you.
Yep. Yeah, and
Now,
I don't dismiss either those who use like the cheat tools like cheat engines, or they go in, they data manipulate. I don't I have no problem with people who want to do that, because those are the people that think outside the box,
right?
and they're literally going to, break the game in ways that the general public won't be able to. And by
Ex-
doing that, we find a heck of a lot more base code issues and stuff. So yeah.
right. And great ways to find memory code leaks.
Yeah, nothing like RAM. Mm. 4 gigs
Oh,
of
like
RAM back in the day. No, I think we were at 2 gigs of RAM when PGA Tour came out. 90, was it 94
uh,
or 95 PGA Tour? I can't remember, before they changed over to Tiger Woods.
95 PGA Tour. I don't think it was even 2 gigs. I think we were still in megabytes in 95. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
actually,
We had, yeah,
yeah,
we
I
were
think
still
you're right. I think we're
megabytes.
at 256 meg at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, try to imagine trying to play the video games that we have now on 256 meg. You couldn't get a Unity game to run on that now.
Oh God, no.
No, no.
No, it's like people are like, "Oh, there's no memory issues anymore." Yeah, that's because we've got so much RAM now.
Well, I mean, and with that exponential scale, right? I mean,
Right.
right now, there's still no reason right now why we still aren't on that scale, other than the fact of pure corporate greed. So
Right,
instead of every
exactly.
year them doubling it, now they're like, "Oh, guys, slow down, slow down. We're going to get close to the limits between the atoms here pretty soon. So, we got to milk this for the next 25 years instead of milking this for the next 10 years." And that's exactly what's happening.
Exactly.
It's exactly what's happening. I mean, they're getting
Uh
down to what, 5 nanometer chipsets now. That's getting pretty close
five
down to where atomic shorting was going to start happening.
five I think Intel's new chipset's supposed to be down to 4.
Mm. Yeah, now
The
at that
one
point in
that the
time, you're
one
going to
that
be sharing heat and everything. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a big trade-off. I'm quite happy with the performance of what a 10 nanometer does. It seems to hold its own for heat dissipation, and longevity, that type of thing. You start coming down
Yep.
into these smaller 5 nanometers, you're just asking your equipment to work that much harder with that much less, which means that much faster of it breaking down.
Right,
Microfractures
exactly.
are a huge thing. One thing though, folks, don't turn your computer off. Don't ever turn your computer off. Pay the extra
No.
$7 a month. That expansion and
No,
contraction of your circuitry, it just creates microfractures, and then once you start
I
getting that,
I
you get microcircuits. Zap.
I tell people that I keep my PC on all the time and they're like, why? You don't need it on all the time. You can turn it off. I was like, well, see
Mm.
here, me personally, when I'm not using my PC, I destroy the silicon in my GPU.
The heat sinks out. Yep.
No, no, no. I just destroy the silicon because I'm telling it to go mine for me.
Ah, gotcha. You
I mean,
see,
it's not making as much as it's costing me to run it, but it's
and that's exactly it. Like unless you have yourself a data banking room,
right,
you ain't going to be making big money on it. And I mean like big money. I mean like more than $1,000 a month. Like
right,
these
right,
things
right,
are just. I mean, when large companies are stealing power to run these mining sets, it takes a lot of power to run these things to make
right,
money.
right, right. Like I read a news article like about 3 weeks ago,
Maybe
in
read the same one.
Georgia, in
Yeah.
Georgia, the cops flew like a heat drone over top of a part of a city and noticed this one house was
One
like
house lit like a
so
Christmas
freaking
tree.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait, and the
Drugs.
power company was like, oh my god, they're using so much power. So they were
Gotta be
thinking,
all those
it's
lamps.
drugs.
Yep.
They busted into it, and
SWAT team
there
it,
it
and it's
was
just a data
was
mining
a
set. Yeah.
mining rig, like
Mhm.
walls covered with GPUs. It was like the setup would have easily cost like $53,000
Mhm.
MSRP, and it was using $2,000 worth of electricity
A
per
month. Yep.
month, and it was bringing in somewhere like $7,000 a month uh profit in Bitcoin. I'm like,
That's right. It was that's right. It said the profit. Yeah, I was thinking like I thought they said it was
it's
like 7K or
what?
something like that, but it was the profit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It
I
was
think we read
like,
the same article. That is just crazy.
yeah, it was like, Jesus.
Mm. No,
It-
there's not
it-
much room on there, even with the price of what Bitcoin is and all that. There's not much room. I mean, the early adopters are the ones that are laughing their arses off right now. You know?
right, 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 right. When I first heard about Bitcoin, you could buy one Bitcoin for something like half a cent each. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm still kicking myself in the butt. I had a buddy of mine
I
offer me a
was I
thousand
was
Bitcoin
like
for $100, and I was like,
I
I'm
was
good.
like, man, I could have easily bought into that. I was thinking, I should drop like $100 because I had a spare $100 at that time.
Mm,
I could easily drop $100 into that, and if it goes anywhere, I'll make profit. If it doesn't, oh well. I mean, if it even goes up to a cent, it would be like I doubled my $100.
Yep. Hmm.
And
And
now
then, of
it's
course,
like,
whatever system you're using, they're going to take their processing fees, and then you're going to get your banking transfer fees, and then you're going
right,
to get your
right, right.
taxes, and then it's
And
not like you're getting the full 15,000 from one Bitcoin nowadays. No, no, no.
no,
You'd be
no,
lucky
no,
if you get to take home half.
but still, it was. I'm kicking myself because it was like I could have easily gotten into it, and I would be a lot better of a gamer then.
Eh, at the same time, you can't regret the things that, you made your decisions on back then. It
Oh
was what
yeah,
was
yeah.
best for you at that time. Yeah, I kick myself in the ass for not buying the 1,000 for
Best,
$100, but yeah, it is what
be,
it is. Life is what it is.
best for me back then was an now ex-wife that I didn't want to yell at me anymore. So
Mm,
if I dropped $100 on that, she would have been like, Joshua, why did you spend all that money?
yep. Yeah, no. Yeah, sometimes the things that we do for others. Yep.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Just to keep our own sanity.
Uh, so is there like any particular games you're looking forward to, man?
Well, actually, I've been goofing around for about the last year and change with some voiceovers, like different character voices and stuff.
Yeah.
And this afternoon, here in about, there's going to be about 2.5 hours from now, I got one that's dropping where it's all one character voice that I do. So
Ah,
I'm going to
I I
see where that
know
goes.
I know that you're in the upcoming production for Bone.
Yep, yep, yep.
So am I.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah. I was like, I read for him, and I did a man, like I did the script, like the worst, man, like stoner is completely like,
Nah.
because the way I saw the wording and the way I read it, it was like,
Mhm,
man, that just that right there fits a stoner
mhm,
motif, you know?
mhm.
So I read it like that, and he was like, "No, Melkor, I know that I've heard your normal voice as a doing podcasting, and if you're willing to take directions, I think I would much rather you use your normal voice."
Yep, yep. He
So,
is fantastic. I'll let you know right now, he is absolutely amazing to work with. He has um,
oh, he was in
he has the
chat
vision.
last week, so he was awesome.
He has a vision and he does amazing. He can explain things 6 different ways in order to get my brain to click what it is that he's looking for, and he will be able to get it pull out. You know, it's very hard for me to play an angry person because it's just I'm not an angry person. I'm
Dude, you
Canadian.
seem so chill. Well, see, here's the thing about Canadians. All Canadians are polite.
Oh, not all of them. I mean, the world's
Well,
are like
okay,
full of
okay,
them. Yeah.
okay. All Canadians except Beckers are nice.
Okay, I'll concede to that. Mhm.
uh,
I mean, there are
I'm
Justin
okay.
Biebers out there.
Okay. I know people are like, what? Why did he just say Beckers? Like, they might not understand. Quebec province has some of the biggest. If you're not speaking French, I completely did a bad accent right there. If you're not speaking French, then you're not Canadian.
Stay tuned, folks. Come and join me in 2.5 hours for my next episode.
I think I think I just killed.
Oh. Well, it's funny that you mentioned this because Mama Zoo is coming out today. Sacre bleu! Yeah, so no, I had lots of fun with it. By the end of it, my voice was just you could hear I tried to say later and I couldn't even do it. It comes out like it's fantastic. I'm going to have so much fun with the series. It's absolutely I'm enjoying it. Originally, I started doing the character voices for No Place Like Home, and
Ah.
it was pure absolute dumb luck how it all turned out. My kid was saying something to me, and he did it in a little whiny voice, and I just whipped it right back at him, and he looked at me, and he's like, "Dad," I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You're a cartoon." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You were a cartoon." And he's like, and I had to think about like, what the hell did I just do? Like, I was a cartoon. And he's like, your voice, Dad, your voice. You could be a duck. And it just happened to be that I think it was that later that evening or whatever. I started up I think it was like season 3 or season 4 of No Place Like Home, and one of the characters is this talking chicken. And
Oh
so
my.
because I knew my kid was in the kitchen at the time doing arts and craft time with his mom that,
Mhm.
I just thought, "Hey, let's see if I can get a reaction out of him while I'm doing this," and he'll come running up, and I'll catch a sound bit for the video or stream or whatever, right? And, so I just break into him like, "Well, Ellen, how are you today?" And that was it. He starts giggling in the background. I got just major comments just coming through. Yeah, yeah, Crimson's nailed it. Cornelius.
Yeah.
Um that and it went over very well, and who the hell would have known that out of my mouth that something like that would cause entertainment? No, yeah. none. So
Uh,
I started playing around with all the different characters, and the community has been huge with the feedback on that. I think that's absolutely fantastic.
right, right. You were saying it's from the No Place from Home series, which I have watched because of Crimson.
I wouldn't doubt. I
But
wouldn't
for
doubt.
those that do not know what it is, would you mind describing it real quick for them?
Sure, it's not a photorealistic graphical game. It's more based on, I'd say, more of a like a graphic novel style for the art. You basically the character is living in a post-apocalyptic world. The entire world, us as humans, have left it just completely filled with trash and rubble. Um, they 90% of the population decided, ah, hell with this. Instead of cleaning up, we're out of here. So they went to make a new colony on Mars. Ellen decides to stick around to, talk to her grandpa and that, and ends up, basically saving the day by cleaning up the planet and beating on some ugly little robot spider monsters and taking care of animals, doing crop survival stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't say that it is a child game. I'd say it's more of a family game than anything. But
Right. It's one of
unfortunately, though, I'm not so happy with what's happened to it in the end.
well, don't spoil it for those that want to play it.
No, 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 I won't spoil it. Nope, I won't spoil that. But I will tell you this: the hold off yet. If you haven't purchased it, hold off because there are quite a few major bugs in it that I'm noticing that both in the Discord and from personal experience that you won't be able to play the game through at this point in time without at least hitting three bugs, and one of which is actually a game breaker that they really got to get worked on. I don't know how
Uh,
come they've allowed it to go out to full release. To me, that's just fat cats coming out trying to make their investment paycheck on a specific date before
right,
taxes.
right.
Yeah.
No Place Like Home slightly reminds me of another game I play. What is it called? My Time at Porsche. The 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 like moving
Mhm.
around and crafting stuff and doing tasks for those people. That's what it feels like to me.
I have not played that game. I have not watched that game. I have seen the trailers in that from Steam. But yeah, I have never picked that one up, but I've been told that I got to try or get myself into with the developers on my place at Sandrock or something. I guess is the sequel.
My Time at Sandrock.
Yeah. Mm. So yeah, I've been told quite a few times in the discords and on streams, like, ah,
Yeah.
you got to get yourself involved in that, and it's like I know nothing of the
Team
game.
Team 17.
Mm. I'll have to, one of these days I will have to check him out. I've more or less gotten more interested in helping out the smaller indie developers that are out there. My knowledge might be from the 1990s, but it really, a lot of it was learning from their school of hard knocks, the just the
Right.
fundamentals of basic game design. Well, my ex-wife, she's now, or sorry, she was a marketing director for 15 years.
Ah,
So, so I know all about the marketings and stuff like that. Like everybody's like, well, how come your channel is so low? It's like because I don't like doing self promotion all that much. I'm not
exactly.
really big out there.
That's my issue right now.
Mhm.
Crimson keeps yelling at me like, "You need to do more self-promotion. You need to advertise here." And it's
Mhm.
like, by the
Well,
way, if
it's
you
been
want to
a
make it
long.
people if people want to make it anywhere in this line of work, yes, promote everywhere.
Oh,
Use your Twitters, use your
if
word of
there's a
mouth.
new
Tell
platform
every
that pops up, get your name and brand onto it. Yeah, just broadcast everywhere. Yep. Do
bet
whatever it is
bet
that you can.
bet
Yep.
best advice right now.
Yep.
If you've got the ability to go onto different platforms like Getter and them, even though that there people go, well, those are like one political viewpoint, which we're trying to steer clear of anything, but they're for this one political viewpoint. If you really want to do anything, use Twitter. And
Mhm.
I'll say this: most of Twitter is like, you like this game? Well, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Uh,
It, mm, I hate what's their clicks?
yeah,
Where like groups of people that just have certain mind frames. I
yeah.
absolutely can't stand that. because that obviously
But
means that they have too narrow of a mentality that they're not willing to learn other things. So with that being the case, we'd never get
but
outside of this planet.
but like I said, on those platforms, still promote yourself on them. You know, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
exactly.
It doesn't matter. Promote yourself. More people that hear about you, more people know about you.
Hmm.
Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell like your cousins
Hmm.
to listen and watch you. And then on top of that, tell everybody that's watching you, hey, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, tell two of your friends.
Pretty much.
By the way,
Word of mouth is stronger.
that was a little bit of self promotion right there.
Hmm.
Everybody here, tell two friends. You didn't post on Facebook. No, I forgot to post on Facebook. I need to make you a manager of that page.
We all need a social manager. I tell you, in this day and
Yes.
age, there's the TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Was there Telegram? I mean, those are just
Mm-hmm.
just where you put, "Hey guys, I'm about to go live," or "I got a new video coming." How was your day? And then you got your Discord, you got your Facebook, you got your YouTube, you got your Twitch, you got your crap. I can't remember the deuces on it now, and I wasn't too happy with it. It's just another Twitch knockoff.
Getter,
Yeah.
Parlor. Those are the only two I can think of that are like
Mhm.
Twitch
Yeah, he was doing this
or
other
no
one, and
Twitch. Crimson. You might remember this. The other platform that Deuce was on, Trevo.
Trovo, that's what it was. I kept thinking Tremor, and I'm going, no, it did not. There was no snakes in
Caffeine,
the sand.
caffeine, right there. There's another Twitch knockoff.
Yep. Yeah. So the more places you go, the more exposure you have. That's the name of the game when it comes to content creation.
Yep.
I could have at some point put money into Google Ads and stuff like that to get my channel broadcasted, like on Facebook, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Put it out there more. I've really enjoyed this natural growth. 8 years in, I just got over 2,000 subs this week. So
Congratulations.
thank you. A lot of people are going. Yeah, my cousin started up like 4 months ago, and he's at like 17,000. What's your issue? It's like, well, I don't do reaction videos. B, video gaming for me is a tool. I use video gaming to try to calm my heart down. So, the motto of the channel is kick back, relax, unwind. And,
Right.
if somebody gets to come home after having a road rage incident, either, they had the incident or the incident was taken upon them, and they can come home, sit down, and just go, oh, God, oh, I need to relax. And they open up one of my videos. Well, then, hey, I'm on cloud nine. I did exactly what I
Right.
wanted to accomplish. I'm not there
Right.
to
And
scream and what the hell is going on in the game? And scream like a little girl and have my face going boom, boom, boom in your face and
see,
biff, bang, boom, pow. No.
people are like, "Oh, you should do reaction videos," and I'm like, "No, not me." Well, see, I'd be willing to do, a laugh you lose type challenge videos type thing with based for my subs, not for the mass public, just something for the subscribers of my channel, just so that they go, ha ha ha, that's so funny. He actually laughed at that stupid joke.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Deuce put it very well, very wise. If you want a successful YouTube channel, don't make a video gaming channel.
nope.
No,
You,
especially when the whole triple sickness thing came on, we went
right, right.
from I think they said it was like 190,000 daily content creator downloads to 2.5 million
And
in the
if you
video
want to
game.
be, and if you want to be successful on Twitch, you fire yourself and hire a very attractive girl to wear a bikini in a hot tub.
Yep. It's just it's catering to the men's psychology that on that one. So I give props to the ladies that use their assets to their highest ability to
Hmm.
prey upon the inner caveman of men. It
Yes,
works. I
yes.
mean, sex advertising has been going on since the 1930s. We know it works.
Well,
So they're just taking that formula and running with it.
see, part of me would love to get a complete all female panel on this one topic, and a lot of will look at this topic and go, "Why is he actually covering this?" And it is sexualization in video games.
Oh yeah, Laura Croft. Yeah, I
I
absolutely
will,
love her to
I will, I
pieces, but
will,
I
I
mean,
will,
3 days
I
out in that
will.
jungle, she's gonna starve to death.
Right, exactly. But I mean, playing playing the original Tomb Raider games, I probably would have never played it because, oh, it was a female protagonist, because I wasn't big on playing female protagonists at that time. Unless, wow, I mean, those pixels are really nice, if you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we're interested in her software, huh? Yeah. So armor sets for ladies. I
Right,
mean, it's there,
exactly.
but I mean, it is so wrong. It's like, okay, mammary glands are a hindrance when trying to swing a sword. So
Right,
why would the
exactly.
armor try to extend that
S-
disability? No, if there
Right.
was anything true to form in life, these things you're going to be wanting like a spandex tight, type thing on just to hold
Well,
them down so that way, you can
e-
probably not get
exact.
awful chafing, but but I mean, you want to be able to move. And the whole open torso thing, it's like, oh, okay, yes. So your top half
Right,
is going to
right.
be absolutely well and fine, but that whole section there where your intestines are and everything else, it's not like if you get stabbed, you're going to die on anyway from infection there. Like come on,
Exactly.
make the armor realistic.
Well, which company just made realistic armor for the females? It was an MMO that just did it.
Oh, really? It's about damn time.
What
Oh,
MMO was it? Uh, you're
hey
making me have
Google.
to pull this up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
Realistic armor for females. Lost Ark. That's it. Lost Ark.
Yeah, here we go. I
Their
just
new,
got pulled
their,
up the
their,
same thing. Mhm.
their new armor set for females is more realistic. Now, will do they still have the skimpier outfits? Yes. They said that those won't go away.
Well, once again, preying upon the child mind,
Yep.
the inner
Yep. The
caveman.
the the,
Yep.
the inner lizard.
Yep.
And it was like, I want to do this topic as a viewpoint of why it's successful and why people do not like it. I don't understand it. It's like there's so many females that scream out there, "Oh my god, you're over sexualizing women. You should stop doing this." And I have said this. Most women who say that this I'm going to try to say this so people do not clip it wrong. Most women who say that have a soul that is dark or black or not healthy where they're at. They're not mentally well.
I can agree to a certain point on that. A lot of people's opinions in that are based upon life experience. It's been my experience that the ladies who have the lower self-esteem, that type of thing, they got
Yeah.
they have the super hot friend, but they're not the hot friend type thing. I find that those ones are always more vocal towards the ones that are, like their friends are super, beautiful, but they don't say it to their super beautiful friends. They turn around and they project that towards where they see. they can make that statement.
Exactly.
And in a way, I totally can understand both sets of viewpoints. I can understand from the straight up leftist feminist to the hardest rightist bimbo. You know what I mean? That there's there it is over sexualized. I mean, not every woman sees a plastic surgeon has spent over 15K on their rack,
Right,
but
right,
you would think
exactly.
that every single one of these video games is built that way. I honestly,
Now,
I was really impressed with what was the one Just Us or something like that. It had a whole bunch of celebrity voices in it,
yeah, I think that's it. I
and
think I
the
know
main
what you're talking
character
about.
was humanly proportional, and I thought that was
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah.
exactly. And I will say this. Women think that men see that in a video game and they want that. Me personally, I see that in a video game. I go, yeah, I'm going to stare at this ass of a woman for like 4 hours while I'm playing this video game instead of a guy's ass.
If I want to
Um,
stare at guys' asses, there's a ton of sports that we can go watch.
exactly, exactly. I mean, if I want to stare at guys' asses and watch guys fondling each other's butt cheeks,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
go watch football.
Every Sunday afternoon. Yeah, like, and it's sad. It's really sad. I mean, there should be more female sports on TV. My ex-wife, she's 6'5", and she played.
Yeah.
Well, she still plays basketball actually.
Ah.
So
I
basically,
just for the most part, I can't stand watching women's sports.
I
They're
didn't
all
mind
like, "Oh,
basketball, but I think it.
congratulations, you're doing so good."
Yeah, it's not as heated, is there? I mean,
No,
what we would
no.
call a cat scrap is nothing to a brawl that you see in a hockey game from the guys. You know what
Right,
I mean? Like,
exactly.
like it's
Exactly. You
the
don't
nurturing
see
nature that gets rid of that primitiveness, I guess.
yeah, you don't see women like high sticking each other in a good old hockey game.
No, it's a cross check.
And
Yeah, like yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
God, I haven't played a good hockey game in a while. I gotta see if there is a good hockey game out.
EA Canada. I got burnt
Uh,
out. I got burnt out. By the time 99 came around, I was cheating on the company. I was playing the Super Nintendo version because they had color commentary on that one. It was they were yeah, that's what I was doing.
uh,
I wasn't on the Genesis testing at that point in time. I was at home playing on the Super Nintendo, I believe it was, and when they came out with that one. That was fun. The funny commentary in that one was great. I don't think they've had any other hockey games do that. Like the guy was like,
uh,
"Look at
uh,
this
uh,
guy, he slipped on a banana peel," because the guy's laying on the ice with a broken leg,
yeah,
twitching, right? And it's like, "Look at that,
I
he slipped on a
remember
banana
that
peel."
game. I
Oh my god,
remember
yes.
that.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But yeah, Crimson's like, yeah, unless it's regarding Olympic figure skating.
Mhm.
Nancy
Well, I
Kerrigan.
mean, oh my god, I forgot all about her. Oh wow, that's a blast from
No,
the
no,
past.
no, 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 no. And here's the thing Nancy Kerrigan
Oh no,
wasn't the
Andy.
one who did it.
No, it
She
was Tanya
hired
Harding.
a
Yeah,
guy. She, oh, yeah, it was Tanya Harding. It was Tanya Harding who hired a guy to do it. It
yeah.
was not Nancy herself, or it was not
It wasn't Tanya herself. Yeah.
Tanya herself.
Well,
Yeah,
then for
Tanya
the
Harding,
longest
Nancy
time,
Kerrigan.
yeah. I remember that for the longest time, Tanya's boyfriend or husband or whatever, coach, I can't remember what it was the lead number suspect or whatever for,
It
pulling the
was
strap
her
off.
husband. It was her
Yeah.
husband who did it.
Yeah. Mm.
And it's
I just
like
remember that shaking my
hilarious.
head. I was in the Olympics myself, actually. I'm a bronze medalist for
Oh,
Greco-Roman wrestling. Mm.
congratulations.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, that was
Grec
that was
Grec
like
and Roman
that was
Grec
92. Yeah. Roman Greco or
Roman Greco.
Greco-Roman.
Let's
Yep.
see
Just
here.
depends on which way you want to look at it.
92. I'm
Mm.
trying to think who was in the sport at that time.
So Kurt Angle at that point, think he was in it as well. Okay, so so I was the Olympic finalist for Canada. Sorry, not the overall Olympics. I was on standby.
Mm-hmm.
So the first place and second place winners, they went over to, oh shoot, I almost said Botswana. That's not what it was. The name's not Barcelona.
Yeah.
So the first two went over to Barcelona, and then so I was on standby. So just in case any one of them got like traveler sickness or anything like that,
Right,
then I
right,
would come
right.
up. So, but yeah, it's still considered a bronze in the Olympics for it. So yes,
Hey, that's well worth it, man.
yep,
Congrats on that.
yep. So yeah, I did that in my weight
It's
category.
not an easy sport.
No, it wasn't. And actually, it taught me how to control my temper. You lose your temper, you get pinned. You think
Yeah,
smart,
exactly.
yeah, you think smart, and it's like, oh, this guy's trying to lead me that way, but his foot is over there. Oh, okay, step forward. And the guy falls down. It's like, okay, this is
Right?
so much
Exactly.
easier. Then we ended up
Uh
training with. Have you ever heard of the dungeon here in Calgary?
yes,
Is the
I
Hart
know the
family?
dungeon. Yes, the Hart
Yeah.
family dungeon.
So I ended up after I was finished off with the Canadian Olympic team. I then went on to train junior high student kids at 𝗬𝗓𝗏𝗀𝗃 Junior High School with Bruce and Wayne. Yeah, go figure, Bruce Wayne. But Bruce and Wayne Hart, the two younger brothers, and this is just
Nice.
about 2 years after the death of Owen.
Ah,
And then what
yeah,
was there?
that
So
was a
then,
sad tragedy.
yeah. And then yeah, it was weird. 3 weeks after we had wrapped up with the second year of the training at that
Mhm.
junior high school, I ended up getting into a pretty bad car accident, and I had to go in for right knee work. And when I go to the physio, Bret Hart was there,
Oh,
and
cool.
I just went over and was like, hey, like next time you see your brothers, tell them thank you for all the fun and everything else, because that was the end of the last year that they were both going to be in the same school. Wayne was a French
Ah,
teacher. Bruce was a phys ed teacher, and they were
yeah.
both at that school. So they just decided to get together for all the surrounding schools and set up a wrestling program out of the school. And they needed people to help out with the amount of kids that they had. So that's where I came in. So
Oh,
I just
that's
so
cool.
I asked Brett to if he could say thank you type of thing. He looks at me and he goes, "Oh," he's like, "You aren't the redheaded bastard stepchild that laid Bruce out, did you?" And I'm like going, Uh, maybe are we talking about the one-armed drag? And he was like, "Yeah, that is you." He's like, "My brother tells that story." And I was like, "Oh, really? Well, that is awesome." Felt good. You know what I mean? Felt good to be acknowledged that, that the training and everything I did for so many years. Because their dad, oh man, their dad was just so brutal. He taught us every little trick in the book. Basically, when you're going to take somebody down, you take your two knuckles out and you scrape straight along the rib cage, right along the kidney
Yep.
line. Like, so there was so many dirty tricks that they taught us just to wear down your opponent, so that way, you might not have the strength advantage, but you'll have the brain advantage. Yeah, Stewie.
Stu
Yep.
Stu
Yeah.
Hart, yep.
I can't call him. Don't call him Stewie to his face because you'll be leaving
Uh,
with more bruises than you wanted to. But yeah, unfortunately, he passed away.
uh,
Mama passed away too. I wonder who the shares of West Jet went to after that. But anyway, yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with
uh,
that too when I was younger.
hearing the Hearts always makes me think of WWE, even though I dislike that company now. I
I
saw that
haven't
they released
watched
their
it.
new game. I saw that they've released their new game, 2K22. It's been like 3 years since the last game of theirs. Or no, 2020 was the last one.
Mm,
So 2022. And I was like, maybe I should pick it up. But then I was like, oh no, it's all went to like the toilet since they've removed the ability to add your own music backgrounds. No, we're
oh,
not.
weird. That's wild.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
surprised.
they used to allow you to have your own entrance music that you could download and upload and
Sony
that
must
type of
not own the
stuff.
rights anymore.
Uh,
That's crazy.
well, I think it's still owned by Ukes or still ran by Ukes Studios. So,
Gotcha.
and I think it's still 2K, but no, you can't add music to the game to have your wrestler come out to like your own individual song.
You know, and
And that
in the '90s, there, that was one of the things that the Trip, shoot, what was his name? Hawkins, there, yeah, Trip Hawkins, the owner of EA, he was all about people want to customize. We got to learn how we can make more customization. And of course, this was pre web patch or pre,
right,
online stuff. So, we had to build that all into game at the time. So, yeah, I mean,
right,
they have
right.
it easier now today than anything, and they're taking away that core that was all about,
Those
people want to make the game their way. So let's give them as many tools to do as possible.
right, right. Um, and I was like, man, they've removed that. It's really bad. It's like,
Mm. Yeah, you want to
it's
add more options. If anytime you take away one feature, you want to add five features that cause more hype that you don't miss the first one.
right, exactly. And I think they tried to do that because you could make your own custom move sets then, and like you weren't stuck to, well, I want to be sort of like this wrestler. Oh well, then you've got their move set. No, you could
Hmm.
pick like one or two moves from this wrestler, one or two moves from this wrestler, and it's like,
Wow. Because the original PlayStation, the PS1, the wrestling that came out onto there,
mm-hmm.
you could choose any move of any wrestler. You were only locked in, I think you could allowed to have 15 different moves and three finishers.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
was like up, down, left, right on the D-pad, and then it was like left bumper, up, down, left, right, and then right bumper, up, down, left, right to do all the different moves. And then it was like you had to press the circle and then do your three finishers on the D-pad or whatever it was. It's
Right,
just,
right, something like that, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And they re-added that when they, because they
they
had
took it
removed
away.
it for a while. They removed it for a while because it was like, oh well, we need to like make it a little bit easier for coding and everything, and save room and this type of stuff.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, if it's already in game, it's not
I
easy to
think it
remove.
went. I
Yeah,
think what happened was it went from one studio to another studio, and they didn't share that bit of coding.
yeah, yeah. Could easily have been. And that was one of the biggest things that I remember a lot of the headaches came from. One one department, gets a hold of it, and they're like, okay, yep. Oh, but in order for us to make this work, this over here has to change.
Right.
But they just completely undid what the other department had to do in order to make their stuff work.
Right.
So then
Exactly.
they
And
send it
it's like,
back, and you're going, what the hell? Skating on our heads?
right.
What's this?
Exactly. Wait. What?
Oh,
Why
well,
am
we
I?
had to flip all our images in that, so that way as the world turns for the hockey when it's playing, so when it scoops around, it doesn't get all this little jagged lines. So
Huh?
you undid the programming for the mechanics of the skating for that?
Right.
Like, um, who the hell told you you had access to do that? It's not
Right.
part of your code.
Exactly.
Code. You just keep your hands out of other people's stuff. You know. But by the time I came in and started learning more about the company, I really learned how the companies were working back then. The reason that Rockstar and EA and all these guys are so big was uh, I don't think it's in the NDA, but anyway, they would hire these companies, but they would give them clauses with timelines that would
right.
say that, it's like, okay, well, you have until April 29th in order to have this set of codes done. Otherwise, your contract gets reducted by 3%. And
Right.
then, in the original contract, you go and read it, and it says if you have anything more than three, or if any more than three reductions, then they have the option to buy the company at pennies on the dollar.
Right. Exactly.
And so
Uh,
that's how
and
they bought all these companies and cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
I think that should never have been allowed. You know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's what actually destroyed the gaming industry for a while. You know, there's
Mhm.
was very few independent um companies up until like Steam became big.
Well, as I was getting
Um,
into there, we were just pulling out of the '95 recession and everything because of the Gulf Wars and such.
mhm.
And It was really hard to get investment. Very
Right.
hard, very difficult for games to get investment. So when a larger studio comes knocking on the door, a
We'll
lot
we'll
of these
pay
guys are
we'll
going,
pay you to develop your game. We'll let
"Mhm,
you develop your game the way you want to. We'll pay for it.
just make sure you
And
get it done within these time sets, these time
here's
frames,
a
because our
here's
release
a
schedule."
time
Yep.
frame. And I think that's what happened to Maxim and EA. I think that's how EA bought Maxim out.
Yeah, I can't really comment on that one, but yeah.
I know, I know, I
Yeah,
know,
I
I
would
know, I
say
know, I
that
know.
that
I'm not.
you've done your research.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So,
I
you know,
have done my research.
that's the way business is. It's a dog eat dog world out there.
Yep.
And for those that don't know business, that are doing computer gaming, then they need to hire somebody who knows business to protect themselves.
Exactly.
Unfortunately,
Exactly.
they don't have the money barely to keep themselves from working out of their parents' garage, but they still have to put in those protections. It's just
Right,
the way it is.
right. That brings me back to or brings me to a thought. I'm not sure if you've ever seen this series. It's on HBO. It's called Silicon Valley.
Nope, I hardly ever watch TV, and when I do, it's usually a
Okay.
documentary.
Okay, okay. Well, what happens
I'm an idiot.
is I'm going to give a brief synopsis of the series.
Synopsis away.
The main character develops an app. He's working for one of the big tech companies, and he's like, "Hey, could you take a look at my app, see what's right, what's wrong with it?" Well, when they get a hold of it, the people at his company, they realize, "Oh my god, he came up with this brilliant compression mechanism that we can use in our search engines and this type and that type of stuff. And we need to acquire it."
Hmm.
Well, he at the same time gets one of the VCs finds out about his compression algorithms, finds out about it, and they're like, "Hey, we're willing to back your compression algorithm," you know, and he's offered $10 million to sell the compression algorithm outright or go work for or the VC gives him a small little stipend of money, but to help him
So a royalty. Yep.
get started out. Well, for a percentage of the company.
Hmm.
And when he does this, couple of the people that comes with him, one of them does not know anything about coding, but he knows he's got a head for business. And none of the people take any money. So it's like, yeah, if you're getting into that, have one of your buddies be in business.
Yeah. Always hire the people that know things you don't. Otherwise, what's the point in having them there?
Right, right, exactly. If you know everything, then you don't know everything.
If you know everything, you're in the wrong room.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, if you know everything at that point in time, you better be on your deathbed because you know it's going to end.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's like most people do not realize
Mhm. But that's how
if
business is based. I mean, the variable
right.
speed on windshield wipers, the rear view mirror, the side mirrors, all things like that
Mm-hmm.
were all taken from somebody who's gone up to a company and it's like, well, how come you guys haven't done this? Or what do you think of my invention? They're like, oh, no, no, that might work for you. It doesn't work for anybody. Quick, go check and see if this idiot's got a patent on it yet. No, okay, we just filed a patent. Don't worry about it. We'll just scribble, and if they say, oh, sorry, we can't read that,
Exactly.
we'll be working on the final scribble so that they can have it. And it's yeah,
Right,
the way it
exactly,
works.
exactly. It's like writing a book. Get it copyrighted right away,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
then send it to publishers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't send it to a publisher first. And that's something else too, folks. It's not that expensive to get a blank NDA form built by a lawyer or someone in the notary business. Get them to do that if you ever have any great ideas or anything. eh, get whoever you're approaching to sign the thing so that way it is yours. That is your IP, your intellectual
Exactly.
property. You've got to protect yourself at all costs because this world is made for companies. A company to do for a company, they calculate fines and stuff like that as a cost of doing business. They don't look at it as a penalty. So that's the way that we've allowed this world to come towards, which is
Yep.
what my channel is absolutely all about pointing out. I do not reward bad behavior. And
Exactly.
so a lot of these video games right now, for example, No Place Like Home. I was super excited. I am absolutely super excited. This series did fantastic for my channel. I'm not bringing it back. I'm not
I
bringing
mean,
it back.
I don't
Um,
blame you.
it's a lot of people put good money and a lot of good hours into this game, and it wasn't on the developer side. It was all the public. The developers, 3 months before, well, they give us a date saying that, yeah, we're coming out March 10th. Can't wait for it, folks. We're going to give you the full release game. And I'm going, looking at what we have, I'm like going, nice, right on. You know what? This game, with just fixing up the bugs, it's ready to go at the price point they're trying to put it out. Fantastic. 2 weeks later, oh, due to public reaction, we are going to remove the dungeons. We're going to completely, basically rewrite everything,
Right.
including the story, and we're going to keep that March 10th deadline.
Okay,
um,
so let's
excuse
gut
me.
the entire thing and send a
Yeah,
zombie.
yeah, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like, no, 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 no. All right, they're not that stupid. They're going to push the release at least a few months. They have to. There's just no way. There's no developers in the world that can get
Right.
this done before then. There's none, absolutely none developers, and you can't tell me any different. I know how you guys have to do
There
it.
is none. There is none.
Yeah,
I don't know
mm,
of a single one that can get
yeah.
stuff done. Not even big companies like EA can get that
Oh
type of
man,
stuff done.
Rockstar, none of them. There
Rockstar,
isn't a
no.
okay. THQ Gulag, Nordic, THQ Nordic. We call them Gulag because they're just slave drivers, right?
Right.
So, yeah, THQ Gulag could not get this done. There is no
No.
way in hell the small company thinks that they were going to get all this stuff done and then push it out and then they extended the date by 1 week to the 17th. So, no, they're also
I
depending on all the content creators and stuff to do their marketing, and yet they have no tools for the content creator. There's no press
right.
kits. They didn't
Right.
have
Right.
even they are so ashamed of their product right now. They did not have a representative in their Discord to talk to a single person. And it's
Oh.
it's disgusting. That's how
Ooh.
that is how shamed they are with their own game that they don't have anybody out there to publicly represent it because they know they've done bad and I guess I even put in the Discord, I do not reward bad behavior. My content is on hold. I'm going to give them a week to see what type of changes. The only thing
Right.
that's going to save face for me or any other business that they're ever going to work with in the future is that they come up with a public apology, roll back the full release saying that we screwed up, and then make it sure that it is now not even just at 90% completion before they put it out. That's got to be at least at 99% completion before they put it out. Otherwise,
Well,
the
you end
developers
up
might as
with
well just say, "Love working with you guys, but I'm never seeing you again," because they won't get another job with any bigger company. They'll just look at it and go, "Oh, you worked on that No Place Like Home?" That's not how we work. Yeah, no, that's Steam. That's early access. That's not the real world. Come into the
right.
real world for a big boy company, you got to put on big boy pants. And
Right. Right.
nowadays, you start getting these reputations. You're only going to get greedy little publishers who are going to try to pick your ass up and take you for a ride and just they don't
Like
care how bad they sling your name through the mud.
like CD Project Red.
Yep. I loved the team on them. I'm glad that half the Witcher team broke up when they did before all the
Yeah.
schmalls came out for Cyberpunk. I would say so. I'd say every bit of 80% of that half that left is now the team that's working as RenderCube
Oh,
for
cool.
Topless Productions doing the Medieval's Dynasty. So fantastic team over there. Great. They got all the
Yes.
people that
Yes.
really melded well together and really bounced their work off each other and kind of they brought out the best of each other, and that's RenderCube.
That's what you want. That's what you
Mhm,
want. You want a good team that
mhm,
will work together well. I mean, that will also listen to their beta testers, alpha
yep.
testers. I don't think that there's anything before alpha testers because
Oh, there's
programmers.
yeah, there's the BSers at that point.
Right, right, right,
They're
right.
sitting around the couch going over, "Hey, for a game, what do you think about this?" But yeah, so yeah,
Medieval
most
dynasty hype, yes.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Uh,
it's a absolutely fantastic, community and everything. I'm very happy that I've worked with Toplets for so many years. Um, I did my best in order to try to get them to clean up so that they could be on a respectable road track to becoming a AAA company. I've
mhm,
hit many, many, many roadblocks though. Unfortunately, a lot of old mentality, um, thinking in the higher upper echelon of the companies and stuff.
right.
A lot of the higher ups in that haven't had any type of education since the mid '90s. I'm guessing from the way that I'm seeing
Uh,
how things are run, and it's unfortunate because, quite honestly, following a proper business program, they could have been at the point right now where they have purchased their own motion capture equipment and then start
right,
renting it out to other companies when they don't need it themselves.
right,
Yeah, there's
exactly.
it's unfortunate that the name Toplitz Productions should just be Toplitz. Unfortunately, they don't have the right in
Yeah.
my eyes at this point to call themselves a production company. Everything that
You
you see
know,
here today is 95% because of me pushing hard behind the scenes, going, yeah,
y
you guys got to
in
acknowledge your public. You got to get the hype stuff going all the time.
they probably can get their act together. They're still relatively young.
They have a new CEO of the company and everything else like that. So,
So
small changes take a while, but
so hopefully that does trickle down.
mhm. I really do hope. I know a lot of the team personally, and I love every single last one of them. But they are all tied behind the rules of how the company is run. Typical, you know what I mean? Like you got your CEOs, CFOs, and all those type of folks who have to what's the word I'm looking for with the respect or with their investors be held accountable for their investments
Right,
and
right,
such, right?
right. The investors hold them accountable for their actions.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Okay.
I know that the investors they're expecting money.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that they see
They
when
want to
they
see their
invest
30
into a
cents on the
company.
dollar within the time frame they were given. Yep.
Right. And otherwise, yes, they can come back at them through punishment, through courts and
Oh,
stuff. And it's like,
exactly.
my viewpoint is don't invest in something unless you honestly believe in it. And that's my personal viewpoint. Normally, at this time during the
Mhm.
podcast, uh, I I'm having way too much fun. I didn't realize we'd gotten to this point already.
Yeah, normally at an hour and a half, I usually got to end up taking a stretch in that myself personally, just because my muscle disabilities.
Right, right. I fully understand because of we have well, I do know a bit about you from
Oh, yeah, I
Crimson,
don't hide
and
it. 90% of the
I
public
know
knows my health issues.
that's why I know so much about you from Crimson's watching pretty much I think your entire library of stuff.
Oh, I'm glad that somebody's enjoying it out there. I make the content, and when I'm making it, I'm thinking about, okay, what would I enjoy if I saw something going on here?
Right,
I,
exactly.
and at the same time, I'm trying to slowly just, put the seed into people's mind. Don't be a sheep anymore. Think for yourself. You deserve better. You don't deserve games to come out the way that they are. Early access is a fantastic tool for indie developers to get the initial investment. It's a place for investors to go. We are now those investors as
I
people.
I look at this as early access. When you start playing an early access game, you become the beta tester.
Pretty much.
You are doing what I did when I was younger, what you did at the one company. We're testing this game to see if it plays. Yes, you're paying to be a beta tester, and most people go, "You shouldn't have to pay to be a beta tester."
It's not a AAA company that
It's
needs 60 people staff on to constantly
Right.
beta test. You know what I mean? So
The
you are
the
being
paying
rewarded with
the
the earliness of playing the game, but you're also awarded with the ability to have a say in how the game is created. Now, a lot of the
exactly.
mentality of the early access gamer is I want this game to play the way that I want the game to be played, not the way that the developer intended it to be played.
No,
And
no, no. I if I pick up an early access game, I go, okay, what was their intentions on how this game was meant to be played? And I think that's the beta tester side of me.
I give it two shakes before I form opinions on games. So I play the
Right.
first time through the way that I think I'm supposed to be led through it, through a tutorial type setting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I play the game on how I think I could either A, min max the programming of it, or I play the game in order to see if there's any issues with it. Like, for example, I love Unity. I know 90% of the basic bugs that are in there. For example, you pick something up, look down, so you're looking at the object, now jump. Usually you go, whee, and you're up in the orbit somewhere, right? And it is.
Gas station simulator. Gas Station Simulator, when it first came out,
Mhm.
the early access, one of the bugs of it is you picked up the trash bag that was in your room, looked down, jumped, and you flew across the map.
Mhm, mhm. Very, very, very well-known bug. It happens with all Unities, and I giggle every time I see it happen in game, and I go, "Newbie developer." Every time,
Yeah, yeah,
newbie
yeah.
developer. Same thing with when you first start up a game, you get the start screen, like blah blah blah, but it's loud. It's not tied into the
Right.
global settings of the game. It's just full max volume, so it's like
Right, right, right.
Mr. Prepper. It's like, "Ugh, okay, what's going on?" Then all of a sudden the game music's playing like, so quiet in the background. You're like, oh, I gotta turn this up. And then you're kind of like, but is that going to turn up the start? Oh, you're like, mm, but it's not tied in, right? So it's
Right,
just some of those
right.
things you go to a developer and like giggle, giggle. There's well-known issues with this, and this. Take a look at page 173 on this. Take a look at 16 page on
Yep,
this,
yep,
and look at this over
yep.
here. And oh, thanks. No, now I know how to fix it quick and easy. Thank you. Like, yeah, no worries. I just saved you 5 hours of your day looking. Easy enough.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight has some of those interesting bugs at times.
Mhm.
I will ask the audience if there's any questions from you guys for the guest here. While the guest can give us a quick what socials would you like people to reach you at?
Basically, I use two now. I do have Twitter, but believe it or not, I just use that for basically to find out, like, oh, how come so and so isn't available online anymore if they don't have a Discord. So, my main two that I use are my YouTube comments and Discord itself. There is a community Discord that I have, the Avalon. It's a lot like your CoreCast here, but
Thank you.
it's all for community. I might be the admin on it, but it's all based around the community's feedback. So if they're like, "Oh, we noticed that this isn't being used anymore," then it gets removed. Otherwise, I don't want to remove anything if people are still enjoying it or anything that's still in there. Um, we add stuff on there for a little while. We had a music bot, but it was just causing too much of those constant pop-up
Right.
things. So, and after three people had mentioned it to me, was like, yeah, no, not so much. It was a great idea, but this, so it's kind of hiding all the messages in between. Like, yeah, not a problem, gone. But as we know, especially with the poor Deuce, getting his channel hacked and everything, it is always best to follow your content creator on at least two different platforms. One that they
Yeah.
broadcast on, and the other one where they put their notifications out to.
Exactly. At least two of them.
Hmm.
Crimson's post your links right there
Yep.
for your Twitter and your YouTube.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, those are
I
the
think
those are the
there's
three that I use. Yep.
no questions from the audience.
That's quite all right.
So
I'm pretty open, so I'm not surprised. Most people are going, "Oh yeah, we heard that from you about 3 years ago too." Been around for 8 years. I've done so many different. I've worn so many different hats. I've done from being a behind the scenes person for a large gaming group, the TMFL.
Go right
Um,
ahead. Sorry, I was
oh
answering
yeah, yeah,
Crimson.
yeah. By all means, Crimson. If you can find it, yeah, by all means, go for it. I have no issues with that. Self promotion. That's what podcasts and that are for. I don't mind coming on there and doing self promotion on those. I mean, if you take a look at
Hey,
any talk show at night, that's all they're doing. They're just a promotional tool for whatever that particular actor,
hey,
actress, writer, or songwriter is doing.
I look at this as promotional for you guys,
Mm,
promotional for me because
mhm,
it's a
mhm.
give take relationship. People who
That's right.
might not have heard of me but heard of you will hear
Mhm.
about me through you. So
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, no, and that's the great thing about how it how it comes together in harmony. You know,
right, right.
you know, for your guests,
Good.
they get
Good.
to keep everybody up to date with what their current project is. For you, you get more exposure to whoever may be following that particular guest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, good times, good conversations. So it's always a win-win-win-win-win. What
Right.
gets me is a fantastic example would be Theories of Everything. I absolutely love that channel. Kurt, he does an amazing job.
Yes.
I can keep up with him. He's fantastic. I love his mind. It's absolutely beautiful. But he had this gentleman or two gentlemen on here just a couple, was it like a week ago or 2 weeks ago? This Lou Elizondo guy, and the guy went off the rails.
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's you, Kurt, but look at the stuff that you're promoting. All these people are sitting there asking me about all these other types of things, and I was like, I respect Kurt so much that I almost wanted to go into his chat and just say, hey, dude, Kurt, you are the host. This is
Right,
you got to
exactly.
curb, you got to curb, type of thing. And
Right,
I can understand
exactly.
where this Lou guy's coming from, but to me, he lost a lot of credit. I don't think he's got any military training if he can't have the thick skin for what internet trolls
Right,
are.
exactly.
12-year-old streamers do a better job in handling trolls than at that point than what this gentleman did. And to me, that is what I think is total, disrespect at that point. And those are the things that, I would never want to have happen to any host of any type of podcast. Just the way the guy went off the rails on his chat. It was like, what? Okay, so anytime I see your name come up on YouTube there, Lou, do not recommend. Why? Don't like the video. Didn't watch it. Still don't care. You no longer are being covered, and I never would have had any exposure to this guy except for through Kurt's Theories of Everything podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess he's got something to do with this UFO disclosure thing going on, and I'm
Ye-
still at the point of like, I understand time, space, its vastness. No,
it is.
I can't see it being an alien life form. What I can understand would be A, robotic intelligence, or B, the motherfuckers are already here on this planet and have been for a long time, to the point that during all the cycles of the world, the ice
Mhm.
ages and stuff, they were like, yeah, where's the safest place where we don't have to worry about our civilization getting completely erased with 3 miles of ice? Oh, hey, deep ocean. We got the technology. We've been around for a
I
hundred
know that
thousand
I know
years.
this I know this theory. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The North Pole having a hole in it at that.
Oh no, no, no! I'm not. No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
not
I'm
that
more.
one.
I'm no. I'm more of like, if you take a look at all the shelves, right, from all the
Yeah.
erosion off the mountains and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
how
yeah,
those
yeah.
shelves are made.
I
Fantastic
guess
places
yeah.
to have to borrow, or like to be able to go underneath. You're still,
Yeah, true, true.
you're not dealing with any of the heats or anything. You got your own, you know, basically warmth coming.
Geothermal.
Yeah. So, I could
Uh,
definitely see some sort of race that's been here for a lot longer than us. I mean, they don't have to be humanoid as far as I'm concerned to have some sort of synopsis that gives them the ability to think differently, to have some sort of consciousness. I mean, we're only what was it, less than 1% different from the apes or something in our DNA? So, I mean, life forms can come in many, many
uh,
different ways.
yeah, I think it is 1% if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
personally, I like to thank you.
oh, no worries.
Um, Crimson has gotten in contact with you at Deuce Bone, and I think she hasn't heard anything back from AO yet. AO
I
Mike.
know that he might. It was scheduled for them
But
to have somebody come in for their internet soon. So,
I know, yeah, I know his internet is supposed to be coming back. So,
He's getting to enjoy a new
um,
lifestyle, and I'm so happy for him. The guy deserves it. He gets to enjoy the fresh air and a bit more freedom than
yep.
being stuck down in the houses and that. So it's quite all right if I don't get to see him for
Hey,
at least another few months. He gets to enjoy himself, and that's the stress relief that we all need. I can only
right,
support him
right.
for it. Yep.
I cannot wait for that for the time where all four of us are having a nice conversation. I'm not going to set a time period on how long
Mhm.
that one's going to be. If I have to break it up to multiple episodes for the podcast, I'll do that.
Oh, if you're thinking about getting the syndicate get together, yeah, yeah. I know what
Mhm.
Crimson's writing, all five of you, but I'm going, no, you're going to be worried about having
Yeah.
like 5 hours, and it's the conversation topics will go from
Hey,
here, bungee cord to here, and eventually they'll end up behind your head somewhere over here going, holy, how the hell did that happen? That's the syndicate
exactly,
way.
exactly,
That's the
exactly.
syndicate way.
I mean, I've already talked with Deuce. I'm talking with you. Trust me on this. I already know it is going to be one hell of a time.
Yeah.
I
And I
know
love
it's
these
I
guys.
know
I
it's
love
going to
them.
be at least multiple episodes, so it might be like episode 4 or it might be episode I know it's not going to be next weekend, but say if it was episode 7, episode 7.1, episode 7.2, episode 7.3.
Yeah, most definitely. We call it multiplayer mayhem for a reason. We don't know what the heck each one of us is going to do that day. We can only guarantee that Mike will shoot somebody in the end.
Y'all should see Syndicate play Raft. Yes, I have.
Oh,
I have seen you watch that video. Oh my god,
we have so much
those
fun. Oh,
you guys are just so fantastic. I have enjoyed spending time with you. I welcome you back anytime you want.
oh, just let me know if you need a filler.
Uh,
If I got the time on those particular days that works for you, by all means, yeah, just definitely let me know. I'm open. I love doing these
I'm
podcasts.
I'm always open. Say you have a big project coming out soon. Shoot me or Crimson next Saturday. Next Saturday is probably Caveman Day.
That is correct. This weekend was mine. Next weekend is all about him, and the world stops. It don't matter. The only thing I would be worried about is if his room was on fire. Other than that, it's the whole world just it stops for him. I've never made any promises for any of the time that I have my boy. Forget it.
Yeah,
The world
yeah.
can
I
drop dead around me. It's all about him. Mm,
family first. The,
Yep.
the three rules of streaming, content creation, or the three laws that content creators, streamers, and that should always follow is one, yourself above everything. Take care of yourself above everything. Heart, that type of stuff. Two, family. Take care of family. Then worry about your streaming.
Yeah, no, exactly. A chaotic mind makes for a chaotic stream. I have a hard enough time with fibrofog. It's funny if you watch some of my videos, it's like
Mm-hmm.
that was totally the wrongest word, G, and my brain thought the correct word, mouth, just totally different word, and it comes up to be quite funny. Actually, it worked in my advantage with Mon Bazo. So once again, I'll pitch this one more time. Comes out in about an hour and a half, and there are some words in there that are intelligible, but it fits towards how the French people are.
well,
Sometimes when they're speaking English and they're doing something that frustrates them, you can't understand what they said, but you get what happened.
uh, that's 1 hour from the live studio audience. It will already have been out,
Hmm,
so I will add a link to it on the YouTube video,
cool.
and I'll add a link
Appreciate
to
that.
it on the podcast, so the people that are listening to the podcast can check out Gaming Gargoyles stuff.
Yeah,
Check
if you
him
ever need
out.
a
He
sleep
is an
coach,
awesome person.
if you need a sleep coach, just put on my playlist at night. Just turn your phone upside down so you don't get any light coming at you in your room or anything, and just listen to the sound of my voice. Just breathe in, breathe out, and you'll fall asleep in no time. I'm a sleep coach, so.
You are a fantastic person. I do appreciate you being here. I do thank everybody that showed up for the live thing right now. And I do hope to see you again here shortly. So, yes.
Definitely. I quite enjoy doing the open formats, especially when it comes to video games. I got opinions. I'm not afraid to
well,
share them.
hopefully we can get more of those opinions from you next time.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for having me. I hope everybody has
Thank you.
themselves a fantastic day and look forward to more.